Dale ticked off and ready to go?
Yeah, he's as eager as he was, I think, when he played his first game all those years ago. So hopefully he gets through all right, and the boys can have a win against Port Melbourne out there.
How much game time are you expecting from him?
Well, our lads and our girls in our return to play area do their best to prepare the boys to come back and play, pretty much a full game. So I imagine it'll be around about 80% game time, which is a full game in most sort of midfield senses. But maybe a slight few minutes down from a backman's perspective, but he'll play most of the game.
Just the one game you need to see from him before you bring him back?
Oh, probably not. I mean, when he came back from the other one, he needed a few, and he hurt himself along the way there. So I'd imagine that it'll probably take a bit longer than one game. Yeah.
It can be a bit of a slog at this time of the year for players, and that. What does it do when they see someone like Dale coming back?
Well, it can be a slog, but we're in you're always in a state of flux, but we're in the process of just making sure that we continue to build capability into our players and that they're looking for areas to improve week to week. So in a sense, that's quite exciting, and it's got a really positive outlook attached to it. I suppose when you start to get into the depths of winter, you've got to convince yourself that you'll be warm in the next 10 minutes once you get out there on the ground. But yeah, I mean, the younger players around him will get a lift, all that experience and that presence, especially in that back end, the leadership that he can provide. So that'll help, and sometimes that's a real beacon and an example for where we want our players to get to as they journey on.
Can I ask you about Easton Wood and his stance on gambling? Are you backing him? Is the club backing him on that?
Yeah, well, Easton's got a really strong personal opinion and stance on gambling. He stands pretty strong in some of those social justice and social sort of custodian type outlooks, and I support him in all his opinions, absolutely. I mean, he's a man of great integrity. I didn't actually hear what he said, but I learnt this morning that he mentioned something about he's prepared to take a pay cut, was it? And look, it's a strong message from Easton, and as I said the other week, it's a real issue in our game. It's a real issue in society, and if Easton feels that strongly enough, if he feels that strongly, then I support him in his opinion, absolutely, and the club supports him in his opinion. But there's a lot of discussion that will need to continue to take place. And as I mentioned the other week, we just need to make sure that we keep educating our young players on the risks that gambling actually provides.
Do you make any changes this week?
Probably not. We're probably going unchanged, I'd say. Yeah, we've got to train today, but it'll be the same 22.
In your review, Bevo, how have you weighed up the positives of pushing a top side like Collingwood versus the negatives of not getting the result?
Yeah, you just keep looking at those areas that you probably let yourself down in, and without being too strong on them, it's the awareness of how we might improve them this week. And obviously the two areas of the ground where we've been really vulnerable is just finish and being able to kick more goals, obviously, and the other end in just giving them up too easy. And everything in between that sort of, the KPIs look okay for us, for the Western Bulldogs, but we've got to sort either end of the ground out, make sure we complete them and stop them a bit better. And I mean, right at the pointy end of the ground. And sometimes it's just symptomatic of either the way that the ball's gone in there or the pressure that we've put on the opposition up the other end. But ultimately, there's been a hell of a lot of time opportunities that we should have taken, and there's been many times when we should have stopped goals that we haven't. So, is it simple? Theoretically, yes, but it's all to do with what your capacity and capability is within your playing ranks and how you can help them get them there. And as I keep saying, we're optimistic that we can get Spike's in those areas, and here's another opportunity this week. Dwelled on some of the positives too, and I think this one compared to last time we played them, they outran us. They sort of pulsed in the last quarter, and we just couldn't go with them when we looked like we were a big chance to win the game. This time around, felt like we were the ones that pulsed, 18 to 7 inside 50s, but we could only kick 3 each. We gave 3 up for only 7 inside 50s, and they're the efficiencies that we don't want the opposition to have. And so, we've just got to be better than that, but I'm wrapped with the way we finished off the game. That's a good sign for us. And our interstate record hasn't been flashed, so do you dwell too much on that? Probably not. It's just a huge challenge, but when you consider the way Port Adelaide played against Geelong last week, just got to prepare ourselves for that. How combative they were, and put our best foot forward.
The forward half of what you're talking about has been an issue for a long time now. Is it frustrating? How frustrating is it? Is it you haven't got the right personnel there? What's going to fix it?
Well, I think if you look at the numbers, we've actually improved. I mean, we're, as far as aggregates and the average just tells you the same story, we're actually not as bad as what people are saying we are. I mean, we've got 2 players who are, sniffing around, being in the top, I think the 6th or 7th leading goal kick is about 26 goals, aren't they, or something like that. I think, Sam Lloyd and Aaron Norton aren't far off that. So, if you look at our inside 50 differentials, they're still really strong. And so we have improved offensively, but where we haven't improved is defensively this year. And there's a number of reasons for that. And I'm not going to go into them. I think you know one or two of them. But so I think we're scaling up as far as being able to score. But if you're alluding to just the ones that you should kick, I'd agree with you that at times we're probably frustrating ourselves as much as we have historically, but it can come together, and it sort of lines up with your capabilities again, and I think we're more than capable. We've just got to be better at it.
One of the Port Adelaide players that you have had a bit of trouble with at the defensive end is Charlie Dixon. He's kicked, I think, 12 goals in the last 3. So do you go about it a bit differently? Yeah, well, our key defenders, that's been a bit of a revolving door based on different circumstances again, availability and player movement and all that sort of stuff. Last time we were really compromised with who was available. So this time around, I don't think Jackson Trengove's ever been our back line when we've played against Port Adelaide. Jackson will be in there this time. So we'll obviously be looking for a better result. But as the senior coach always says, the limiting of supply is the main thing, and we've got to do our best to do that.
Just overall, barring a great run, it looks like you're going to miss the finals again, which is unusual 3 years in a row. But there seems to be this sort of sense of calm and sense of feeling you're still moving very much in the right direction. Is that fair to say?
Oh, absolutely. There's only 20 players left from 2016, so it's a total new outfit. We're all sort of agents of change, and one of the big challenges from a leadership point of view is to manage people through significant change, which we're going through. And I'm really comfortable that we're heading in the right direction. Would we have liked to have won more games? Absolutely. But again, there's 9 opportunities to win games, and feel like there's no reason why we can't, really push the envelope there. So yeah, I'm really optimistic and positive about the whole thing. But you just got to keep fronting up and giving your best, and hopefully it results in more wins in the back end of the year.